because Streamlab's bad. There we go. Go ahead and...
Hello and welcome to the 12th Eisen Index.
Hold on,
12th Eisen Index public debate. This debate is to ascertain and quantify traits of several Hearthlander cultural pillars. This debate is brought to you by the Große Deutsche Genossenschaft, Reichtum, Hingabe, Treue und Kraft. This debate is commissioned by the Hainite Council Commission on Index Debates, a for-profit, heavily politicized organization of which I'm a member. The debate will last however long it takes to index a number of topics predetermined at the drafting of this debate. Presently, the literal god, yours truly, is joined by our two normal hosts, returning debater Warcraft, returning debater Sarknik. Alright, we'll now review the rules and format for this debate. Please refer to rating indices on official Eisen Index Google document or appropriate Google slide. Tonight, for our 12th edition, we have a literal god's choice during a Mega Eisen Index week, as is customary every
So,
6...
wait, Aramis, can we call it the Godly Eisen Index?
The Godly Eisen, I think that's probably apt. Very
literal
apt.
God's choice.
Plus Mega.
Yeah.
Or the Giga Index, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's up to you guys. 18 topics. Buckle in. I will now flip the coin. As always, I will go last. Gotta save that best slot. Alright.
I'm Tails.
Sword is tails. Warcries is heads.
It's always Warcraft that wins.
This is actually tails. So goes first.
Yes.
For my first topic, I choose regular show.
Oh, that's actually a good one.
Okay.
I agree with this. Okay, I will go ahead and
So happy.
duplicate Guardians of the Galaxy Volume
I'll
2.
get an image.
Sard, have you posted the Hearth?
Yeah, I did.
Very nice.
I'm just trying to get a good image. Let's go with this one. It's cute. And it has
Oh.
pops, and it makes me sad.
All right, let's talk about regular show. Perhaps the sort of spiritual successor to Adventure Time. They kind of came out in tandem. I forget the
Adventure Time
exact date.
ended after.
Yeah.
A year after the regular show.
Yeah, so these two were kind of a package deal on Cartoon Network for a little while, and this started Cartoon Network's descent into void-crazed madness, I believe. It's clear that whoever their writers are over there now and their marketing team, etc., are actual void acolytes and are therefore insane, Rylehi, and all that. Regular show was the start of the descent into madness, but it was actually a fairly good show, I would argue. So the story of regular show, it is anthological. It is much along the lines of Adventure Time. However, the setting is drastically different. It is a modern setting as opposed to a fantasy setting, although there is some fantastical lore bits in this. Is basically add a pinch of every supernatural show in existence, and somehow you'll end up with regular show. I almost want to say the wackiness of it is almost along the lines of Stranger Things minus a little bit of Lovecraftian horror, although that's there too. The actual story arc does not commence until very late. The movie perhaps is the biggest chunk of lore in this. The rest is sort of just passive slice of life world building type stuff. I'm gonna give the story because it's actually fairly deep. It's not as deep as Adventure Times, which I think is the easiest thing to compare this to. Although it is quite nice. Let's take a look at Mask here.
That
We
finale,
had
though.
Adventure Time. Yeah, the finale was quite nice. Adventure Time. Where's Adventure Time?
It's way top. We rated
It's
the
like
first
very.
index,
Didn't
yeah.
we rated the very first index?
Yeah, over
Or
a
was
year
it the
ago.
second index? Yeah. So Adventure Time story got an A. I like regular show's story, but it doesn't have enough gravity to really matter terribly. The characters are iconic and mimetic. So every single one of their characters is incredibly memorable. Perhaps with the exception of High Five Ghost. Yes, that's correct. That is a very correct image there, Sard.
I was looking for that meme forever.
So I love a lot of the characters. So Benson, the put-upon boss who screams at his employees, I resonate deeply with Benson. He takes the form of an animated gumball machine, which is interesting. Like I said, there's a lot of zany shit that goes on in a regular show. You have Pops, this sort of thespian who is actually a celestial being, basically a godlike divine entity, who is always very idiotic, tries to pay people in lollipops and talks like this all of the time. Good show.
Okay, you made Pop's voice sound like something from Haluva Boss, like our.
Wait, what? Haluva Boss?
Nice pronunciation, Sard.
Did I? Who did I make it sound like?
I don't know, just like any of those characters just have that kind of voice type.
What? Eat shit.
Ignore it. Keep going.
Well, for one thing, they have his voice actor in there for one thing.
Oh, that probably explains it actually.
Okay, anyway. You have Mordecai and Rigby are sort of central too. Both of them are incredibly lazy, although Mordecai is at least a bit token hardworking in some instances. Both probably rather stupid workers at a park. They are anthropomorphic blue jay and raccoon duo. It's bizarre. I actually think their aspect characters, their secondary characters, are more interesting. You have a muscle man whose meme potential is unlimited. You know who else likes regular show? My mom. He's just very iconic. You have Skips, who's down here. He's kind of like I guess Schnitzel would probably be the easiest Cartoon Network parallel to draw. The strong and quasi-silent type, but very wise, very influential. Sort of a mentor character. All of these characters are fine. We have a couple recurring ones too. I like the characters. They don't contribute a ton to the story. They're so fucking random. I'm almost tempted to give them an S just because of Muscle Man, but because of how they relate to the story, I'm going to give them an A. Pops and Muscle Man holding that mostly up. Writing and acting is fine, I guess. Their actors cast fucking is tiny because Cartoon Network was in a slump at this point, which I don't know. I don't have a ton of issue with it. Like I said, it's Raleighian madness, so straight out of Old Gods, fine. Visuals are exactly the same as Adventure Times with a bit more zane.
A bit lower. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't overly like the designs, but the visual quality itself is solid. I like the art style. Direction is, again, it's all over the fucking place. Their actual scene setting, though, has some very interesting art style transitions. This was one of the reasons that I liked Hell of a Boss a lot, but the sort of fluid transitions in some of their episodes, the earliest instance of this is perhaps Mississippi Queen. That little instance, the sort of Daft Punk tier space battle between what's his face and his musical rival. I like the direction and a lot of their more zany stuff. Score and sound design is really kind of irrelevant, but you have part of this coming from the voice acting, the iconic Muscle Man screech. You have several. I mean, I guess the score is fine. It doesn't really interact much. We'll give it an A. It's just not going to weigh very heavy. Uniqueness. Okay, so regular show kind of verges on one of those things like Ninjago that tries to be unique by including a slice of everything and kind of just descends again into Raleighian madness. We're going to give the uniqueness a B. This is almost Uncle Grandpa levels of randomity in certain instances. I do not necessarily support it, but they make it work. Like it's definitely a better implementation than something like Ninjago. Refinement. Regular show did get a fairly substantial rework in terms of art style. About 75% through its completion, and they went all out on the fucking movie. I think the movie was great. Yeah, this is fine. It wasn't too noticeable. They didn't make any like core alterations to the art style. Yeah, this is fine. It's a solid show all around. All right, Sard nominated this war. What do you think?
I think that you very much like the word zany today, apparently.
Well, it's the word that most describes the regular show.
I suppose it is, yeah. Or unconventional in that sense. Yeah, I'm with it. I haven't actually watched a huge amount of regular show, but I've watched a fair bit. This all seems rather accurate and much to comment on. Sard, you?
Okay, let's see. This show holds a lot of personal relevance to me because of the fact that my older brother and my older cousin are really into it as well as me. I will admit, for story, they sometimes had some really cringe stories, but then there were the good ones, like the Fuzzy Dice, Skips Only Love or whatever.
Right.
All that stuff is so good.
Muscle Man's arc with his dad and the ghost of the forklifter, yeah.
Yeah, and then, you know, Mordecai, simping for Margaret and then having a new
Yeah.
girlfriend, the Cloud chick. And
Eileen,
all that-
Eileen is the vastly superior waifu, I will say.
I agree. Eileen and Rigby is the best ship in that whole group. There were some
Actually,
weird
it's Muscle Man
characters,
and
like
Star the
Pops' dad, the Moon guy or whatever, and Benson's boss.
Moon
Kind
guy.
of hardly appeared, which I kind of had.
There was actually a theory that Flapjack and regular show existed in the same universe, just on different time settings, because of that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know to be honest, but honestly, I think it's got a decent story. I don't know if that's gonna raise it, but because I think maybe the bad stories balance out the good ones. What's a good example of a bad regular show skit story? Some of them are just not memorable in one time.
Fucking coffee shit. The coffee bean. Like what?
And that one where they get the music stuck in their head. That one, I always hated that episode. So annoying
The
to watch.
prank calls was stupid.
They're Halloween specials, right? I think they did a bunch of Halloween specials. We're good.
Yeah.
I'll admit that. Regular show doesn't. It had continuity, right? But it wasn't like 100%.
So
right?
fucking whack.
Like Adventure Time had continuity. SpongeBob
Like it
has no
constantly
continuity.
lore broke itself several times just to say that
Yeah.
it kind of could.
Hmm. So yeah, I think that could hold against story. Although some shows like SpongeBob obviously aren't made for continuity. But yeah, I don't know. So I think other than that, yeah, uniqueness. It's sort of similar in Ninjago. Different. There's a bit of a difference here. Regular show kind of tends to make references to the real world a lot, which
That's true.
Ninjago struggles a lot with doing that because it's fantasy basically. And since regular show technically isn't fantasy, although you could watch an episode and assume it's fantasy.
All right, I'm gonna call a hard cap
yeah.
on this. Regular show gets a B+.
Yeah, you can definitely make
Okay.
a lot of
Yeah, let me
references
see
to
what
the real
Adventure Time
world
got.
and fantasy. Like,
I think
even
Adventure
more
Time
so
got an
than
A-.
usual.
Adventure Time got an A+ actually.
Okay.
I could be convinced to bring this up to an A- if both of you want.
I
Like
don't
it's
know.
right
I
there.
always felt like regular show was equal to Adventure Time.
I liked the interconnectivity of Adventure Time a lot more, I will say.
Yeah.
Like the recurrence of several things that actually tied lore together. If we're going to really cast those two against each other, like the recurrence of the Lich, the actual coherent timeline, the recurrence of side characters like Lemon Grab and LSP, that sort of thing, I think gives Adventure Time the solid edge. It's in story that it really makes up most of its ground. Okay, that was regular show. War Cries.
Okay, let's do something rather unusual for the index. I'm gonna review a rather ancient religion. I'm gonna review Greek mythology.
Okay, so this will be an entity then?
Yeah, I suppose.
Or would it be any particular... I guess if we were to review something like the Bible, that would count as a book, but the
Yeah.
actual mythos behind it as an entity.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, it falls under the subjective auspices of entities, which would be most recently the Eisen Index itself.
We've already done Eisen Index.
It's actually interesting. Kathagat is big into Norse mythology right now. He has a Havamal and whatnot. It's very nice.
Norse mythology, very good as well. Do you know much about mythology, Sard, or no?
Oh, do you want me to get an image war?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just don't know what to do. I'll literally just...
Middle. Just get like a
Like
god
an
or
image of the
something.
Pantheon or
I
some
was
shit.
sorry. I was
Or
DMing
Olympus
Oxygen.
or whatever, yeah.
Yeah. Olympus.
Okay, so the relevance to the literal god of Greek mythology.
Or you don't want to know what I see when I look up Olympus on Google.
What do you see?
You get cameras. These are just all cameras.
Search Olympus Greek mythology then.
Okay.
Or Greek.
Holy shit, he's right.
Yeah, let's just go with this artistic depiction of Mount Olympus.
Yeah, the modern world has ruined our ancient culture.
Okay. So Greek mythology actually has a higher relevance to the literal god than you might think. I am not Greek, My knowledge of Greek mythology extends beyond the standard, which I would say is having read Percy Jackson. My Greek mythological knowledge extends into a couple of realms, particularly because everyone on Contact seems to confuse my name with Artemis, which is the Greek goddess of the hunt, and also one of the better waifus in existence.
Correct.
Now, relevance to literal god, we're going to give as an S. I enjoy pantheonical religions. I enjoy polytheism. Good. Philosophical merit of Greek mythology. Greek mythology is sort of one of those weird polytheistic religions that encourages basically abasement to things that are just you but leveled up 1,000 times. Like if you take Judaic orthodoxy, for instance, the Jews, they have a very different relationship with their gods than the Greeks or the Norse would with their gods. This is more of a tribute and appease style of thing, so as not to invoke negative consequences, because most of these gods are in some way, shape, or form chaotic neutral. Like Zeus just goes around fucking everything, and killing things, and lightning, and yeah. So there's that. But also power, yeah. Philosophical merit of the actual mythology is quite good. I think there are a lot of great stories in there that don't have to do with the gods and goddesses themselves. I like their ancient lore. I like titans. I like giants. I like primordials. I like that. It's good. Rational merit of a lot of this stuff. They cover a lot of bases. I mean, polytheistic religions have a really easy time covering a lot of bases. Name something or other that's going to be a goddamn minor god that someone doesn't know about. So it is far-reaching. It is in-depth. It has a coherent timeline, more or less. Rational merit of a mythology kind of defeats the purpose, but in terms of actually motivating people, it did its job. I mean, this was dominant for God knows how long, pun intended. We'll give the rational merit of Greek mythology an S, even though there are some weird things in it, like Zeus screwing a bull, and then Hera transmuting one of his lovers into a cow or something like that. I forget how the exact thing goes. The meme potential of Greek mythology is huge. Percy Jackson would not exist without Greek memes. Like the meme of just Zeus going around and screwing everyone.
Dude.
Yeah, that alone is a Keck tier meme. My personal approval of Greek mythology is middling to high. I like it a lot. I have to say I like Norse mythology and Proto-Germanic paganism a little bit more.
I'm with it.
There you go. Alright, Ward requested Greek mythology Sard.
So I'm rather any on this, but does the Odyssey count as actually?
Yes.
Okay, Odyssey good in
True.
that case.
Iliad better.
The Greek mythology characters, I'd say Artemis and all of them, are pretty iconic. Even nowadays, you see them in a lot of stuff like Animaniacs. So, I'm very uneasy, so I think that's all I have to say. I think they're cool, and I love the feel that Greek mythology gives off. So, I don't think that's going to change anything.
Ward.
Yeah, I don't think Sarden has a huge amount about mythologies in general, at least ancient ones.
Read Percy Jackson.
Probably take a class in
No.
Does Percy Jackson not count?
I don't think I think, yeah, I read a portion of Percy Jackson, or what the fuck did I just say? Percy Jackson.
Jackson.
Yeah, I read a
Mr. Percy Jackson, I'm going to have to ask you to come with me.
Fucking random.
It's basically Matrix and Greek mythology.
Yeah, fucking.
Name is Bonchonery.
I read a portion of Percy Jackson, but never actually finished it. Muster of the will wasn't my thing. In general, the actual mythology I find it rather interesting, very unconventional. I think the only two mythologies in which gods are not painted as more perfect beings would be specifically Norse and Greek, in which they're all sort of
Right,
bad
and
in
then you
some way
have
or
all
another.
the Germanic offshoots of Norse and Slavic offshoots of Norse
Yeah,
and all that
right. Yeah, the
nonsense.
two majors. Um,
Yeah.
so I do very much like it in that sense a lot better than, say, Christianity in terms of interest.
I have to say that's probably what buoyed a lot of my rational merit portion on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I find their timeline a bit more well thought out and convincing than.
Yeah.
Well, the biblical timeline's strong, but a lot of other religions have weird timelines.
Right. Yeah. Now I suggested this more as sort of a, in terms of story, and I think you went in that route as well.
Yeah.
Majorly. So yeah, I agree. Anything to add? A goddess Nyx, of course.
Oh yeah, rational merit, Keck.
Yes. Yeah. Nothing much to add other than that.
Greek mythos. Greek polytheism is an S- tier mythos. Okay. My first choice may come as a bit of a shock, but it is a long time coming. Sarfnik, you should be feeling really fucking stupid already, because you called me out on this for on the SARD index, which is an embarrassment. It's awful. You should be ashamed, and I'm now going to disprove you. I nominate Minecraft Manhunt.
So how many rounds are we doing? Are we doing 4 rounds or 6 rounds?
We'll be doing 6 rounds. The
Oh,
mega
Jesus Christ!
literal got
We're doing
18 subjects. That is correct.
Oh my God, we're gonna be here a long time.
That's because Act 4 is about to conclude.
Sorry, there's no movie tonight. Not for you.
I'll make it happen.
Good luck.
I haven't even.
I'm going to count Minecraft Manhunt as a show.
Good choice.
Someone get an image.
Although a lot of it will be irrelevant.
Sorry,
It's
you're on
kinda
image
just like,
duty for all
I already
future
have it.
indexes and this one.
unless I'm streaming.
Yeah, but you won't be.
Okay.
This is our first series, like YouTube series.
So
We have internet history. Well, a hell of a boss,
YouTube
technically,
series.
YouTube
Oh,
series.
yeah,
a few
technically, yeah,
givens
yeah.
before we begin. I think we're rating the specifically Dream's original rendition or most known,
This is Dream's
rendition,
rendition.
not the general concept.
Correct.
The
Okay.
concept was invented by Wilbur, but
I have only researched dream-based content for Minecraft Manhunt as well, so it's, and some reflective content on the community. But other than that, that's all based on dream
this
stuff.
won't include other Dream series, right? Like Assassins, right? No.
Yeah, I didn't watch much of them. I considered them outside the scope of Minecraft Manhunt.
Mm.
So, the story of Minecraft Manhunt is irrelevant and therefore gets a B. The characters of Minecraft Manhunt are actually quite amusing. There's Dream, who as a character we have personal approval in here of. His acting is lukewarm at best. You have Sapnap, you have George, you got the entire gang. None of them are particularly good players. Dream is the best there, far and away, or else it wouldn't make any sense to have them being the 3 to 5 individuals and him being the one. The other players are by and large garbage. Sapnap's an okay fighter, I guess.
I'd say George is okay.
Whatever. Like,
All
Warcries and I easily outclass all of them, and would probably rival Dream had we actually been practiced for something like this. Yeah, there's just that. A lot of this is coordinated. We'll get to that in the writing and direction pieces. The characters themselves are. I'll give him a Callow. Like, I don't overly hate Dream himself, but I find him kind of lazy. Writing and acting. Certain of these scenarios are actually quite amusing. I like the general concept. It's a decent, easily recreatable thing. So there's a bit of audience interactivity there. Like, you can put it this way. If Hunger Games was the culture shock when I was like, what, 13? That was the fad. Everyone at our school would trip over themselves to create Hunger Games in real life shit with like foam swords and stuff, and it was great. This is very easy to create in Minecraft. It's a very, very, very simple setup, so much so that even Sarfnik can do it and do relatively well.
I've done it before.
Yeah, so writing and acting in that sense is fair. in some of these specific scenarios, one sticks out in particular that I never thought I would see: the moss block into lava trap of the concluding episode of Minecraft Manhunt, the finale, where he wipes the entire team by spamming moss blocks over lava, or spamming bone meal on moss blocks and then insta breaking all of it over lava, which is clever. So there are some clever things in here. The writing in of itself is childlike, innately childlike, because it is designed to appeal to a younger audience. That is evident, and I will dock it a little bit for that because it's flagrant. There's a lot of filthy gamer jargon. Like, a lot of these people could stand to learn a bit more of the King's English, frankly.
Very
Writing and
correct.
acting is gonna be callow. Dreams individual scenes are the only amusing part of that. Visuals, it's Minecraft, irrelevant, borderline. The direction of all of this, all of them are very repetitive when it comes to this sort of thing. None of them have a ton of stake to them. A lot of the encounter design, like I said, is good. It's very obviously scripted. I don't overly. The score sound design and the actual post-processing, this will come in refinement too, is okay. It's stock tracks. Sure, it's lazy. It's passable but lazy. It's like me when I made the initial Aramis von Eisen movies for the Grossdeutsche Eigenaussenschau. Chat. Like, passable, but lazy. However, I have the excuse of the fact that I was like 14 at the time that I made that shit and had no budget. You can't say that about these grown males that have many millions of investment potential. Like, really? Like, this is the best you can do? So I don't overly hate Minecraft Manhunt as a whole. It's just lazy. Uniqueness, it's actually not that unique if you think about it. Like, this sort of thing has existed for a while. Like, even things like UHC are sort of barometers on the popularity of the sort of end race. You have the effervescent appeal of speedrun, which I don't get. The uniqueness of this is borderline, perhaps even less. We'll give it a C because things like Minecraft Hunger Games already existed. The refinement of this, again, is very, very stock. I'm gonna give this a C or a D because it hasn't really improved overly much. They've kept it fresh in some of their encounter designs, so I guess right. It's like all you can do with this is more cowbell. And if the initial thing doesn't stick with some people like it doesn't with me, then more cowbell is not going to help. I'm going to be generous and give it a C. But,
Okay.
I'm almost tempted to knock the direction to a C, but
yeah. I feel as if personal approval should also be a thing here, but
yeah, it's a series on YouTube. Personal approval kind of bleeds into everything where there isn't a direct personal approval.
I don't know. I don't think this isn't a hybrid.
Okay, go ahead. I nominated this, so I'll flip. Sard, you go first again.
Yo. Okay, so I might have to say a lot of things about this, as you know. I watched this series. I'll admit there's a lot of good about it. There's also some bad, which I'll go over in a sec. But first thing, I am kind of disappointed by the score sound design rating. I'm sure Warcraft might be able to back me up on this here, because I think I've had some discussions more about this too. I personally think the score design, sound design, is actually an A here. His use of music, the music itself may not be too outstanding, but his use of music is pretty good for intense situations. It's like a movie level in that case. It's literally movie level. So I think
fuck off! Denied. Warcry, do you have anything sane to say?
Yes. Fucking, what was this shitty dream music that he always plays? Fuck, I don't have it on sound. Yeah, literally that.
He doesn't play that.
Here it is.
Warcry's, the stream is just an Eisen index icon.
Yes, that is intentional at the moment.
Why is it Eisen index?
No, I had it because I was opening something in the background and just covering my screen.
Okay, so Aramis, I wasn't done, by the way. I have some shit to pour on Manhunt as well.
Okay.
Fucking fart jokes. For two frickin' Minecraft Manhunt series
Oh my
fart
god,
jokes.
they're so annoying.
Where they had, yeah, it's bad. But there's some more as well. There's some good stuff as well. I will admit. So the way they make Manhunt, I do not believe it is staged. They have provided evidence that it's not staged with Dream
Yeah, just
Publishing.
like he had provided evidence
Raw.
that he didn't.
I mean,
Yeah,
speed
what
no,
running.
great
no,
evidence.
no. This
Yeah.
is different. This is different. He uploaded the raw for a couple of Manhunts. He uploaded the raw footage of them, and obviously you can't prove that's fake. I mean, it would
Yeah,
be an
I can't-
outlandish accusation to say that he scripted that. So I disagree here.
Okay, so there is tacit scripting going on. When you fight the same 5 idiots over and over again, their movements become painfully predictable and can try to make something
Yes.
fresh by using the simple mechanics of Minecraft.
Not to
That is the
mention-
only good uniqueness piece that keeps that uniqueness from being like a degenerate or something like
Yes.
that. I've already pieced that in.
Okay.
I have
And we
given
also-
Dream a lot of leeway here. Understand, this is a very generous rating.
Like
And
overly.
a few more things, I guess. Yeah, you mentioned the Moss trap, which appeared in his most recent Manhunt. He's done so many big brain traps that I do think makes it really entertaining to watch. I mean, you could learn it all from Reddit, but
Big brain against numbskulls, though.
This dude
Like,
goes
yes,
on
it's
this
big
dude.
brain, but it's
Yeah,
fighting really
I'll admit
stupid people.
Ant Frost Bad and Awesam are kind of dumb, but Sapnap is actually same level, near
Sapnap
same
is
level
a
as Dream.
good. Sapnap
Yeah.
is a good PvPer. He is not intelligent when it comes to actual attack designs. Like, he is not a good strategist.
I mean, he's pretty skilled when it comes to all things Minecraft. Both Dream and Sapnap are. I mean, they literally just played an MCC today. And
clearly
got
not
first
in
and second.
coordination.
Like-
Like, if the highest stakes that was ever supposed to exist was supposed to be the finale, which is the design, then the lack of coordination between these troglodytes that he has chasing him is absolutely hysterically bad.
Yeah.
Like, I would take Warcries and I over 5 of them against Dream.
Yep.
I think Warcries and I could almost certainly take Dream.
I am also hoping that he does a Minecraft Manhunt with Techno. It's been kind of hyped. I'm pretty sure he asked Techno, but Techno said hasn't done it yet. But I think that could possibly raise this series a little bit.
Yeah.
War, did you see the Manhunt he did against Illumina as well?
No,
that was
that
entertaining.
a year ago I saw that.
Yeah, it was a while back.
Let me. Yeah. Are you done, Sard, or do you have more to say?
I don't have any more to say. I still think that you guys are completely wrong on the fact that it is scripted. Manhunt is. I mean, there's very few things about it that
Yes,
like
I get
obviously
your
if
point.
Dream, when it comes to the beginning of Manhunts, he only keeps the Manhunts that he does well in. So
Okay.
you could argue
So,
that.
Snarfnick,
but
I'm going to make a statement here. When I say scripted, I mean tacitly scripted. Let's say you have a bear, and on the paper, how the scene is supposed to play out, written on the paper, is bear : roar. That's actual scripting. If you have on the piece of paper, do what you normally do until bear roars, the bear is technically not scripted. So when you poke it with a stick, like the numbskull that you are, and it roars, it's not scripted. Yeah, so whatever. It's tacitly
Yes,
scripted.
not
Okay,
to
and
mention
also,
they're
War,
also
do you-
very likely
you agree
told
with
to
me, War?
avoid going overly or so on. I'd imagine there are obvious nerfs to them which may be going on in the background, as in they're not overtly going for the optimal strategies that Dream has a chance, despite how much of a numbskull
well, yeah,
they all
Dream
are.
actually bans. This is something I need to mention. Dream bans glitches. He allows them to use like stuff like mushrooming the Ender portal or whatever, and respawning the dragon. He allows them usually for one manhunt, but once they use them, he bans them from future manhunts.
Okay.
So he bans tricks that
Is
are
that all you have to
overpowered
say?
usually.
So,
There's one more thing I want to say. So, War, I want you. What are your opinions on the score sound design? Because I
Score
believe that
sound
he's wrong.
design bad.
the use of it though is so good. right?
It was good on the first
Starfnick.
index, but look
Starfnick.
how much production
I'm going
they
to
have.
screen share.
Okay.
I'm going to share my screen. Screen 1.
Correct.
Okay, so you log in, you do this, and then you open up.
When you open up, yeah. Exactly. And you drag it in, and then you have the dream music, Sard.
Yep. That is literally all that is happening here.
It's the most generic
I rest my
some
case,
shit.
and I think you have failed to transition my opinion on this.
Literally, your old music, the old, like, medievalish music you use in your old videos is superior, so...
Minecraft Manhunt is a C- production.
Okay. I'm up. I guess. Okay,
All right,
let's see.
Sword.
All right, here we go, guys. Black people. No, I'm just kidding. But on a kind of related note, George Floyd.
Oh shit!
This is what I was talking about.
George Floyd.
canceled.
Okay. Let's get
We're
George
gonna get
Floyd.
canceled, guys.
Shut
Obviously,
up,
be an
Sard.
entity in here. Freedom of speech and words. Okay. George Floyd.
Oh my god.
Is it? I don't even know if that's the correct
How
spelling,
it's
but whatever.
spelled. Yeah, that's correct.
I'm getting the image, guys. Hold on. As you see, I'm kind of picking some bangers today, aren't I?
I'll make this very, very fast.
Good.
Moment, let me just get a more accurate image.
Oh no, war, please.
All right. Relevance to the literal god is B. I heard about him one time in a story, and then he got thrown into the legal sphere of debate because death and fentanyl and yay. And then it was an open and shut case where there was clearly no actual murder involved. And if anything, you would have hit Chauvin on the manslaughter charges, and you actually would have wanted to hit the people. You wouldn't have wanted to Nuremberg him. This is what I'm saying here. So as far as how this actually panned out, you would want to hit the people who invented the standards if the standards were actually bad in the first place. But there's a reason why the sort of placing them in prone position, which is what they claimed actually did a substantial amount of damage, is what it is actually a decent breathway opener. Like the testimony that they brought in on this fucker's trial. But we're going to keep this about George Floyd himself right now. His philosophical merit. Dude was high as a kite, enough fentanyl in him to kill a herd. That's all I really know about him. He is criminal. Yeah.
Yeah,
If I'm not mistaken, was he the deadbeat? I forget. It wouldn't be uncommon even if you were. He's not a very productive human. He's a drug abuser, which automatically throws him downward in my eyes. You know, I'm all for hedonists except for stupid hedonists. So,
Aramis, he's an angel. I don't know what you're talking about.
die, Ward. Meme potential of
black
George
hero.
Floyd is pretty great, actually, because they're putting up statues and shit of him, whereas they're taking down statues of like black educators and George Washington and shit.
Dude.
So fuck. If I can't laugh at that, I don't know what I can. My personal
Fucking-
approval is an F. Okay, sorry, denominated this. War cries. What?
They put up a fucking mural, I forget where it was like New York City or something, for George
Yeah,
Floyd, and it
they're
got struck by
renaming shit in his honor.
Dude, it got struck
there
by
also
fucking
was-
lightning and burned down.
Death was the best thing that ever happened to this guy. Like,
Yeah, he was a nobody.
The
before he
mural
got
for
got
this guy's
struck
rep,
by
death was the
fucking
best thing to ever
lightning.
happen. Him getting inadvertently martyred for being high as a fucking kite.
Dude, he's an angel.
Yeah, black hero.
Okay.
So
I'm more so irritated about Chauvin's conviction than anything. Like, I
Yeah.
think if you're gonna hit him with anything, you hit him with manslaughter, but not murder. Like, that was
Yeah.
very clearly politically motivated.
Anyway, Sard.
Oh yeah, so George Floyd. A few more things. He also had a statue war, and someone put like it was like I think was it New York City, and someone threw paint on it, fucking defaced the statue, and got away with it too. I don't think they
We
ever
don't
caught
really
the
have
guy.
enough dirt on this guy
So,
himself because he was
yeah,
pretty
Aramis.
fucker.
He held a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach one time. That was one of the reasons why he was in jail, I believe. I think he robbed a
Was
woman.
that him? I keep forgetting
Yep,
they all
that
look
was
the same
George
to me at
Floyd.
this point.
That was George Floyd. I watched
Okay.
Lower
me
the
and my
man.
around summer 2020. My grandparents showed me this Candace Owens
War Cries,
video.
can we get a fact check on that,
talking
please? I don't trust
about-
Sarf when it comes to
Yeah.
this
We'll
sort of
fact
thing.
check it, War. It's been very widespread. Trust me. It's been
Like I
very
said, I
widespread.
didn't follow him
But-
himself. I more followed the case.
George Floyd obviously didn't deserve to die. He was a criminal, and he was definitely high. But it was police incompetence that got him killed. Obviously, I'm not siding with freaking Derek Chauvin. Although I do think he was harshly punished and the jury was bad.
Disagree on the idea that police incompetence killed him, but it definitely didn't help.
Yeah, dying was the best thing that for him. He was a freaking criminal. He's not. I hate how fucking the liberals are trying to act like he's a hero and he's like a civil rights person being put up with like Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. He's
Like at
not
least
any of those. Yeah.
pick someone whose foibles are easier to hide, like
And
MLK.
if there is a god, that god has literally struck his fucking mural with lightning.
Funny.
Even the fucking god that may or may
Yeah,
not
there's
exist
some
does not
Haste,
like.
haste God.
Yeah, does not like George Floyd. Ward, did you get that fact check by the way?
I'm literally posting it right now.
Yeah, I will admit he had a kid. I kind of feel bad for him. He never gets to see his
I
kid
mean, I
grow
knew
up.
he had a
But
criminal
I think
record.
he definitely didn't care about his fucking family because of the fact
Yeah,
that he was
clearly,
high
if
in a
you,
car.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
irresponsible. That brings
Mhm.
actually all
But
3 of these down to cringe
you
for
can
me.
look, yeah, you can look at the court cases and see the proof.
Let me
If you
see it.
actually
It's there,
desire.
War?
Yes. First one.
Okay, good.
Court documents.
Yep.
All right.
So yeah, I think meme potential. I think meme potential is pretty. I think A is perfect. Obviously, getting struck by lightning, the mural. That's a pretty
Yep.
big meme. I can't breathe. That is a very famous quote now.
Yeah.
I don't really know. We're gonna get canceled for this, but for those watching, we don't like George Floyd, and we are righteous in disliking George Floyd. So yeah.
There you go. Open and shut. As soon as I actually see the legal documentation, like I said, I didn't read much on
He
the
said
guy
that-
himself. I mostly focused on the case against
Yeah.
Eric Chauvin. So there's that.
Okay.
Based God. Next.
Okay, so let's see. Let's do something. Let's do.
I think they could probably expel me from PSU for this, but I don't really care anymore.
You
Act
think they're
4 is
gonna
already
find-
too far completed for them to stop me.
Do you think the Eisen index is something they know of, Aramis?
Yes, they're
Obviously.
PSU, they know everything. Except for how many of their students are going to get molested and killed each year.
Nice.
And how to prevent that.
They just have to text you every time one does so they can keep count.
Nice. Okay.
There was a murder here recently, actually.
Let's do
Great
these...
stuff, great stuff.
Yeah. Let's do the Sarfnik index.
Meta as fuck.
The meme one-time series I did last weekend. I'll get an image actually.
And we
I actually
used
have.
the Eisen index format as well.
I do have an image, so I'm actually gonna pull it up right here. That's the actual image, by the way. Look at it. Isn't it beautiful?
F. 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 F.
Personal approval.
I think this actually deserves a lower. New overall rating.
Cute.
Alright, explain it, alright.
Okay, so in relevance to the Sarfnik Index, the literal god, we're actually going to place this as borderline. Like, when I think about relevance, I think how much time do I spend thinking about it? Did I spend more time thinking about George Floyd or about the Sarfnik Index? The answer is kind of the same, which is not very much. Philosophical merit of the Sarfnik Index, it is exactly the same thing that the Eisen Index is, except for worse, which lowers its philosophical merit because of the rights of invention and intellectual property. Rational merit is actually not a cringe, believe it or not. The choice of the star I thought was actually a weirdly good addition. Strangely enough, like he made some interesting points about certain semantics and certain occasions that I think brings this from a cringe to an F.
Dude, fucking moderate was so funny. Dude, fucking
Moderate
clearly did
memed on
not
you a
want-
lot, which is a lot of why the meme potential is high. Moderate is mostly the contributor there. My personal approval is that this is degenerate, although enjoyable in some certain aspects.
Yeah.
Moderate so obviously didn't want to be there. It was great.
Yeah. The original guest was supposed to be Troll, but then Troll dipped. I almost got
Good.
Corden as well. Troll
don't
dipped
know.
because he actually all stuff to do. But I guess I'm talking now.
Yeah.
Okay. It was a one-time meme thing to make fun of you guys for not doing the index for like 2 months. And it was something I always wanted in my head, just to like kind of play as Aramis's role. It was meant to be funny. And yeah, I agree that it was definitely cringe. I
You're
wish
a basement
Moderate's an
beast.
incompetent person. Moderaate was an incompetent person to be one of the guests. If we had actually gotten Troll, I think it probably would have been more enjoyable. Moderate just like recommended Dream and then the Dream Mass Sus remix, and he provided literally nothing. But Star was okay. I think Star's good. I almost consider him for the actual Eisen index.
Yeah.
I will admit he's watched a lot of indexes, so he actually was able to bring a lot to the table. He recommended the dictionary, if I remember, which was pretty big brain. Well,
It's a good one.
he chose Grian, which is also good.
Fair.
Yeah, I think overall it was a little fun experiment just to meme on you guys, and I'm sure you enjoyed watching it, Aramis.
Ward.
Dude, fucking so dumb. Yeah, I'm with everything here. Great index art, 10 out of 10, love it.
Sarfnik Index gets a degenerate rating. Right. Is it my turn again? Then
Is it
we'll go for
Camila
third
time?
time.
Yep.
Huh. I'm actually open to suggestions, seeing as how we have to pace ourselves tonight.
I heard that you want to do Camila, right?
Let's okay. Let's do the Moon Rabbits then.
Okay, this will be a weird rating though because we have to divide it, right? It would be
I guess we
modern
could
Moon
do
Rabbits, right?
Camila or Henry Moon Rabbit then, if we're
Yeah.
going straight entities. I don't really care because it's gonna be 18 in one index.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do Camilla.
Okay, let me get actual image. It's gonna take a while though.
Camilla's relevance to the literal god is degenerate. Reason that it's degenerate is even though that it's a running meme, Coot's sort of involvement is reoccurring. Hers was basically a one-time thing. Like, I knew about her kind of off the cuff from Sponge SMP, but other than that, we'd never really talked. She'd always kind of given off Oxygen, but slightly more stable vibes. So kind of a bitch. But philosophical merit of Camilla is incredibly low, does not actually care about helping people, but will scold you for not helping people in the way that she wants. Rational merit of Camilla is similarly low. She is a communist, so therefore it is cringe. As all communists are, I believe we have 3 communists rated so far, including her. All of them have rational merits of cringe. Yeah, see, that should tell you all you need to know right there. Okay, meme potential of Camilla is actually quite okay. However, unfortunately, she did not get the one of the few killing blows on the literal god that is in existence. The literal incel line, I believe, was delivered by reinforcements summoned by Camilla Ladybug, or whatever her name was, who was also a communist. My personal approval of Camilla is diminutive. It is going to be an F. She seemed like a decent enough person to have on our team in Sponge, and then promptly drove herself off a rational cliff.
Not Sponge War. Alright, Aramis.
Wasn't it Sponge?
No. She played Among Us with us. That was it.
Oh, it's Amogus.
And
Never
like
mind.
2 Harth events, I think.
Amogus and Birdlark. Yeah, yeah. That was how I was involved. You're correct. I was thinking of the other chick from Sponge.
Oxygen?
Not Oxygen. The other one. There's another
Ray?
one who was. Yes, Binks.
Oh.
There you go. Okay. So, my personal approval. She's a communist, so. Camilla herself actually was not the worst of those 3. Birdlark and Ladybug were actually worse.
I disagree on the Birdlark part, but yeah.
Yeah, I know you will. No wonder. But.
Okay.
Like, not as a whole, though, but like in that interaction, Birdlark. Oh, well, was it her or Birdlark that kind of set back? Like, one of those two kind of set back. One of those wanted to orchestrate them. Actually, no, you orchestrated that meeting.
They wanted it because I had talked to Birdlark about. I mentioned that you were rep or whatever. And
right.
She somehow talked to Camila about it off or somewhere else. I don't know.
So it
and
was Camila that was the more
it,
antagonistic one, and Birdlark was sort of the facilitative one. Okay, I'm gonna put my personal approval as a rank 26 cringe then. There you go.
Okay.
I nominated Kamiya.
I'm
Sard, you go first.
Okay, I'm gonna get the good stuff out of the way. Her and Birdlark have a pretty good friendship. She's like the Aramis and Warcries, maybe. I don't know.
Eat
Maybe the
shit.
Aramis and Hapvy of each other. I don't know.
Get out of
There you
here.
go. Happy is
also, they
adorable,
dressed
and
up
I'll never
as
let him go.
Princess Bubblegum and Marceline for Halloween last
Okay,
year.
that's pretty
That was
solid.
pretty chill. She was all right to play Among Us with, right? She played in like 2 Harth events, died right away. I think she had a big brain imposter. I think one time. I don't know. That was Birdlark actually. Birdlark.
I
She's basically
simped
just a
for
worse version of
Birdlark,
Birdlark.
or was it Oxygen that I simped for?
It was
It's
Oxygen.
that I simped
How do you
for.
confuse them? These guys are completely different here.
No, they're not. Okay, keep going.
Okay, let's keep going. Yeah, obviously when it came to politics, she faltered. I haven't really watched that argument back, but I have seen the memes.
fucking incel.
Why don't you?
Mark,
Why
pull up
can't
the
you?
clip.
Why can't you just listen to black people? That was her quote. I
Why
remember
would
that.
somebody lie about trauma? Like, imagine being so
That was
naive. Holy
Ladybug,
shit.
yeah. But, yeah, I admit she has bad friends. I don't know what happened between her and Henry Moonrabbit, but I'm naturally gonna side with Henry here. Yeah, and she was like, Sarfnick, you need to get a better choice in friends after that argument, if you remember. Yeah, and I remember who was it? It was like, how do I leave a group chat or something? Like once the argument ended, it's like, how do I leave a group chat?
Heil drum.
So overall, really dumb, but yeah, it was fun to play games with Camila and Birdlark back in the old days of the Henry Moon.
Her hair actually looks a lot like mine right now, as I'm just noticing. But mine's like
she's
floofier
good
and
looking.
wavier.
I'll admit that. But
You have
what's on the
intriguing-
inside?
You
is
have
what matters.
intriguing tastes, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. What's on the
Okay.
inside matters.
Uh-huh.
Commies get cringe. Warcraft, you
Filthy
say?
commies.
No, I don't think so.
Camilla
You
bad.
are the most ignorant fucking incel. Okay, Cam.
Camilla gets an F rating. Perhaps an F minus. Such a waste of potential.
I don't think
Okay.
there was much potential in the first place.
Take
but
third time.
We're almost halfway. We're almost halfway.
All right, get your snack. I'm gonna go get some snacks. Warcries, bring
Oh,
up
yeah,
the clip. I
Oh.
wish to hear it
Oh,
serenade.
BRB.
Are we taking a break then? Sorry, play
Yes,
this clip.
tiny. Well, I'll wait for my return to play the clip. That'll be our
Okay.
intro break.
3-minute break then. Oh. Where is that?
Wait for Aramis to
Can
come
you
back.
can you get that clip?
Oh, I thought you had it as a thing.
It's your video, is it not?
No, but I thought you had a soundboard of it.
I might. I want the actual clip though to play.
Aramis is shit talking Ray, and I'm talking to Ray right now.
Send.
I don't understand why he dislikes Ray. Okay, I'll find the video. Hold on. It's on my second channel. It's on this too. What was I? Oh, I was gonna say that picture is from her public Instagram, so no one freak out. I'm not stalking Camila or something. I just
And
looked
the
in
people
Birdlark's
know.
follow list.
And is Birdlark's Instagram public?
I don't know, but I have them added.
Is Camila's Instagram public?
Yes.
Like
I know,
to
'cause I
you,
don't
like is
follow.
it public on Discord?
No, it's like public on. It's not public on. Actually, is it? I'm not sure.
In that
It might
case,
not be,
in that
but
case, it is
It's
kind
it's a
of.
public account, and I don't care if it's a public account. Like, if it's a public account, you could literally search up Camila and find them. Like, it's
Is
not.
it actually just
shocking.
named Camila? If so, then I'm fine. But if not,
Yeah, that's what it's named.
okay, I don't care
Oh.
then.
Okay. With Colbert, I think we actually. I think his account was actually private, but we didn't care. We did the image anyways.
Well, Colbert, you know personally.
Colbert bad, right?
No, not why at all. I'm not like for doxing people who are bad. Colbert, you know
Okay.
personally and doesn't care about that.
I found the clip. Kibe the incels. It was pinned, but I'm just gonna send it again. There you go. Aramis was referring to he was like quoting Ladybug Lover, and he was saying that it was Camila, which bothered me a bit.
Actually, this clip is I'm pretty sure me play. No, Aramis playing Ark.
Yeah.
Streaming
was on Ark
Ark
too.
in the V.
There's this one guy. There's this one like. There's this weird guy who like Ben Wars a lot who's in as well. Aramis is this old blue logo.
It's pretty much the same.
Oh, that's back when I had my moon thing. I stopped that like 6 months ago. Where I would do the moon phases. I
This
did that
is
for like
when-
over a year.
Yeah, this is when you had the actually good logo.
I had the Sarnik, the one that I already forget his name. That one guy who liked me a lot made for me. So
Dragoon?
not Dragoon.
I am returned.
Oh,
Okay.
Dragoon Kalias or whatever. Drakon Kalias. I don't remember.
Okay, here comes the clip.
Okay.
Black people are telling you that this is what happened, and I don't know why you can't
And just
like,
for
listen to
reference,
them.
Aramis,
Like,
that
no one will
picture comes
believe
from
you.
public
trying to
Instagram, so
lie
it's
to
fine.
me like many people.
Why the
Shut the
fuck
Would people lie
Living
about
through
trauma?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know, the most ignorant fucking
Black
incel
people are
that
telling
I've
me
ever
that
met
this
on
is
this
what
fucking
happened.
app. Fuck you.
Infinite moral arbiters.
Oh, where you're not. Oh, you're not voice sound pad.
No, but let me tell
Yes,
you.
I'm
let
not
me tell
using
you-
SoundPad. I'm doing the actual clip, you idiots.
Okay.
Good God.
Yes, irritated Aramis face. Irritated short-haired Aramis face. That was back when I had a ponytail.
So, let me check if let me check if that video is private or not. I'll send the link in the chat if not, so that all the spectators can watch it.
All right, back to Index.
I'm up actually now.
Yes.
Okay, we just did Camila. Let's go with Henry Moonrabbit. I know he actually has recent stuff that we can talk about. What are they doing?
Okay, fine.
Okay. I'm gonna get an image in a second. I'm just trying to send the videos quickly. Oh, I closed the stream. Sucks. Oh, links don't work. Never mind. If anyone does want to watch it, there it is.
What is this?
The full debate.
Oh, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Very
What?
nice.
Oh, it didn't even send. It unsent.
Well, I'm so confused. What do you send
I sent the link, but YouTube wouldn't let it go through.
to? What full debate?
To the whole Camila versus Aramis debate. You can
Oh,
actually learn stuff. But it didn't send through, so whatever. Okay. Yeah, I'll get Henry Moon Rabbit image. He has a website, I think.
Are you able to get it to me in any way? Because I'd actually like to go back and watch that.
Let me send in
yeah,
Harth.
send in
That's
hair
part
warning.
2. I'll send
Time
part 1.
versus girls. You make it seem like I'm
Yes.
battling the entirety of femaledom.
I mean, they're all females.
Aramis
so-
is misogynistic.
Except that.
You
I
could
love
not live with your own failure. And where did that bring you? Back to me. It was a 3v1, so
But you held your own.
that I did. That I did.
I think you convinced them in some parts too. Like, I don't know. For the first
Stupid
one, I was playing
commies.
Ark.
Yeah, you were
Back when I was on my
still
old
at
base.
Nature's Guardians.
This is over. This is from September, by the way. Wait, when was it from? Okay. It was
Okay,
from-
Henry Moon Rabbit.
Okay, I'm gonna try to find an image.
Relevance
if we
to
had-
literal god is very
if we
low.
had just a quick, if we had done this about 2 months ago, it would have been completely different as now. But you can start. Like, I'm gonna just trying to get the best logo.
This is all of my stuff for Henry Moon Rabbit. I don't even feel like explaining it. I think a lot of it is self-explanatory. Henry Moon Rabbit in the past was a noted simp. He has, in fact, changed his ways after lifting my banishment for the grave sin of wrongthink. He is a, from what I understand, fairly enthusiastic, artistic individual. Artsies and I are hit or miss. Like, I don't generally get along overly well with artsies, but he liked my drawing of Arclerdus, which means he clearly has excellent taste.
I see one person in the Discord is playing Ark for whatever reason. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Henry
Okay. Yep.
Oh yeah, someone is.
Then there's Rat from Heck, who is intriguing, but I feel like that's just her and Henry Moon Rabbit running everything.
Rat from Heck is cool.
They them.
Yeah. Are they them? Actually.
Yeah. It's actually a pretty cool image.
Yeah, they have the Minecraft frogs thing as their thing. But this is Henry. We're going on.
Okay,
Okay.
that's about it.
I guess war is up now.
Okay. I will say his Discord's kind of cringe in terms of actual format and what they.
Yeah.
But as a person, he's pretty okay. Probably just middling. Like, I don't know, a C or B minus, C plus maybe.
I'm fine with that.
Did Discord get rid of sending links? I'm trying to send this website.
There's not much to say about him. He was very cringe beforehand, but not so
Alright.
much longer. Or
Zard.
not so-
Okay, I actually have quite a decent bit to say. So, he may seem cringe now, but he's improved so much. Dude's got a freaking website. I've known Henry Moon Rabbit for so many years. I met him on, guess what server war? Mineverse. I'll tell the original story of how I met Henry Moon Rabbit.
Just
So,
one quick thing.
Birdlark.
You mentioned that he has a website. I strongly approve of people who generally have websites. I know he merchandises a lot,
I sent the link, yeah.
which lifts his rational merit for me personally. But yeah, having a website on its own isn't too big an accomplishment. Like I had one when I was what, like 5, 6, but whatever. I really should get back to making Eisen merchandise.
Dude has
I made a lot off of that.
Moon Rabbit Industries apparently.
I'm back. Alright,
This
so
is fine. I approve of his entrepreneurial
He-
instincts.
Mhm.
him and Birdlark were freaking griefers when I met them. Basically, Birdlark tricked me into on Mineverse giving him and her permissions to the plot. It was mostly Henry Moon Rabbit though, and he griefed my entire plot. And he used to be on
Somewhere,
Mineverse griefing.
somehow, a whip sound effect plays.
So yeah, he used to be. This is way back in 2014, so I would not judge him for this. Then he quote unquote had a revelation one day. He said he was outside in something and he realized griefing was wrong, and he decided to stop griefing and become a good person. He's
Good
intelligent.
job.
He is one of the Instagram haters. He used to have an Instagram, but then he decided it was bad and he quit it. He still has me tagged in some
Strongly
of his old
approve.
photos from like 2016. Then Henry Moonrabbit and I did not talk for like 4 years. I think 2016 to like 2020, we did not talk at all. Birdlark, it was like 2016 to 2019, I believe. And then we reconnected, and his original Moonrabbit Haven Discord was Crines. It had a weird election system that people would be voted on getting banned,
He was
and someone I
communist
didn't even
supporter.
know wanted me banned because I was a Republican, or I had right-wing politics or whatever. And
I
despite him
corrupted
and
him at that
Birdlark
time.
opposing the ban, the vote passed, and I was banned or whatever. As you know, you were banned, Aramis, for messing with Camila and Birdlark. I think it was specifically Birdlark.
Messing
It's
with.
actually because he's an ignorant incel and a pedophile.
He had angst.
Most
I remember a
ignorant
quote from
fucking
Birdlark
incel.
saying Henry gets mad whenever people make me angry or whatever. And I don't blame him for having emotional attachment. He used to know Birdlark in real life,
We
back
all
when he
make
used to live in New
mistakes in the
York,
heat of passion,
but he
Jimbo.
moved out to Seattle, and he's been living in Seattle since. And
Good God,
obviously
this
his
guy has
Discord was
awful
shit.
sense of where he should be living.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Seattle's not that bad.
Seattle's economy
Seattle
is
is
toast.
terrible.
I went there once. It was nice.
Sorry, it's
Fake
more than
news.
face value.
I enjoyed Sacramento more than I
Other than the
enjoyed
fact that
Seattle.
they had that whole summer 2020 fiasco.
Sorry, tell me one thing
Uh,
about Seattle's economy or inner workings.
I don't really know.
Yeah,
don't really study
exactly.
Seattle.
So shut up.
$15 an hour minimum wage.
Okay. Anyways, back to it. He hosted some good events. He had Jackbox. He got me into Jackbox. Decent Among Us events. But then it all turned to Crines, and when I was banned, I did not want to come back. And then apparently, in late July 2021, there was a huge conflict with him and the Camila group, Birdlark group, in real life, may I add, because they went out to
Amistoon.
Seattle, to the point where they are not friends and they don't speak ever again. And then he rebuilt Moonrabbit Haven from the bottom and has good people like Gray and I already forget the other person.
Didn't he do something he's really
Gray and
not
Rat.
proud of or whatever?
He said he
He did something
wasn't-
terrible that he doesn't want to talk about or something along those lines you mentioned.
Ooh,
let me check my
mysterious.
DMs with Moonrabbit actually.
You really must tell me sometime, Henry.
Him and Bird. I asked
As
him and
my
Birdlark
Venthyr,
about
as
it.
my
Oh,
Venthyr
was it the
consorts are
bird?
very fond of saying,
It might have been
I
the
would
bird.
wager you are hiding many dark secrets, Henry Moonrabbit.
Yeah, I think it was Henry and Birdlark, which something happened that he didn't
They
want
had
to
a
talk
conflict.
about. Yeah, and it was apparently really bad on his part, and he didn't want to talk
And
about
he
it.
dumped
correct?
Thorin, which is good. Thorin was also scum. He
True.
wasn't in part of the debate, but he was also friends with them.
Yeah, he was a communist supporter.
Thorin and Griffin
yes.
as well.
Oren Griff, yep.
Good. So yeah, I'm just looking through my DMs. He says
Not to
that
be
they're bad.
confused with Mira Griff.
Mm.
And he also agreed purging Trump supporters was bad, which was good. I'm checking the DMs.
Good job,
He said he
Henry
talked to me
Moonrabbit.
about it later, but-
Sure.
Overall, he improved. Yeah, Moonrabbit Discord is good. They don't have any events anymore, which is, I guess, a
Henry
downgrade in that
Moonrabbit
sense.
gets a B plus.
Yeah, and I'll admit, Cat Lover is good. So yeah,
That's fine. Like Rat has the correct idea on Cat
And
v
ma-
Dog. We
maybe
had an
one day
extensive
we'll-
debate about this in the Moonrabbit Discord. Okay, War.
Yeah, not much to say again.
I mean, new topic.
Oh, yes. Okay, so topics. I think I'm actually gonna have to go for, considering hashtag 3 is coming soon. Let's do the Total War franchise.
Oh, the Total War franchise or a specific game from it?
Let's just do Warhammer at the moment.
Okay, we'll do the Total War Warhammer series. Or
Mhm.
would you like to even break that down?
That's good. I'm with that. Overarching story, so it fits.
Yeah. And Mortal Empires is kind of just an expanded version of T-War
Yeah.
Warhammer 1.
I don't.
So,
I don't know much about it, so I'm just going to ignore it in this case.
Huh, Minecraft. Okay, I'll get an image. Is it Warhammer 2?
Total
Just search
War Warhammer.
Okay.
And Warhammer 2 and a bunch of shit.
I'm just
So
gonna
this
get
will
it.
include Warhammer 2 and the projected upcoming changes for Warhammer 3 because you know there's going to be a Mortal Empire style campaign there, which is what everyone's really going to care about. Nobody gives a damn just
I
about
can't
like
find a high quality image.
Kislev Chaos, which is what their localized campaigns probably will be. Total War Warhammer. Between the PvP and the completely unique campaign mechanics for pretty much everyone, the late game campaign can get a little rough, but the core gameplay itself of both empire building and actual battle dynamics is amazing. I actually really like Total War Warhammer's core gameplay. In its earlier ages, it could have been a bit droll. There were a couple of balance changes that really needed to be made. I remember back in the day that the whole thing was just to spam monstrous units. Now it's kind of a bit more like spam good missile troops or spam like
Artillery.
doomstack. Yeah, doomstack whatever your faction is best at, as evidenced by the 19 rattling gun stack.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And there are some that just kind of fall by the wayside. Core gameplay of Total War Warhammer is great. Battles, empire building, diplomacy, fantastic. The sustainability of Total War Warhammer is quite strong, particularly if you follow in the community. It is a small occult community, but it's the best of the Total War communities in my opinion. Like you'll not find half the decent folks that you will in Troy or Three Kingdoms or some shit that you will from the Warhammer side of things. This really reinvigorated, and we'll talk about this in the community section as well. The both the Warhammer fan base and the Total War fan base, it unified them ever since basically Warhammer Online wasn't a thing anymore. Warhammer had kind of been dying down. Warhammer Fantasy had been kind of dying down anyway. Warhammer 40k is still going strong, but we'll get the sustainability of Warhammer either an S or perhaps even a low tier Keck. I'll actually go so far as to give it a low tier Keck. Reason being is because you can play the same race many different ways in campaign, depending on the sub-faction you choose. And also the variance in PvP setup. And customizability in custom games and stuff. The story of Warhammer Fantasy is one that I really like. You have your classic fantasy setup, elves, dwarves, humans, that sort of thing. And then you have the chaos dynamic. You have the very articulate Skaven. You have awesome. There's something for everyone in this. So you have the lizard man empires, you have the vampire counts, you have the vampirates, the vampire coast. You have a bunch of different elves that are completely different from one another. You have a bunch of different chaos factions that are completely different from one another. You have it's all over the place, and it's one great big mess, and I love it. Story of Warhammer. Total War Warhammer in particular follows a couple narratives. So the first game followed basically you play for your faction and you prepare against incoming Chaos Horde, or you play as the Chaos Horde or a Chaos Aligned force. That's basically how Warhammer 1 went. Warhammer 2 is you're trying to race other races in a sort of series of rituals to either basically control a gigantic magical vortex in the center of the map and do whatever your faction's goals are with it. And basically to defend the world from chaos, this vortex has to remain secured. There's that. Warhammer 3 is going to focus a lot more on chaos. There will be several different chaos factions. So I've heard there's the additions of Cathay and the Ogre Kingdoms as well as Kislev, which is very nice. That's going to be talked a bit more about in refinement development as well. Story of Warhammer as it pertains to Warhammer Fantasy as a general rule. I've read some of the books on this. I've read the entire Gotrek and Felix line. It's a fantastic line. Yep, story checks out. S-tier story. There's a couple of very lovable characters like Gotrek in there. Visuals. This game, for when it came out, Warhammer Baseline was the best fantasy battle sim in existence. Don't at me. Like, there was nothing that came close. Like, can you guys think of anything?
I'm with it.
Visuals was fantastic, full-on animation, glory, everything. Score sound design is godly. I regularly use this in several of videos. So, like, dating back to Warhammer 1, I actually used a Total War Warhammer tension theme in game game of extracurricular activities for when we were preparing for the siege of the Spanish 1 students.
Of course.
It was it was the dwarf tension theme. Refinement and development of this game has been incredibly good. It started out very bare bones. It started out with only 4 legendary lords, and then ballooned to what it is now, which is you can play virtually any faction from the books. Virtually any faction, if you include the stuff coming in Warhammer 3, and a bunch of different legendary lords for each. Like, how many fucking legendary lords did the Skaven have at this point? Like 7? I think. Okay, let me see if I can name them all. Tretch, Queek, Throt, Ikit, Snitch, Plague Guy. Fuck, what's his name? Skrolk. And there's one more who I forget.
Right, yeah.
Or do I?
Or do you?
It might take me a second.
Mm-hmm.
This is our 100th one, by the way, our 100th slide.
Fuck. I
Oh,
forget.
shit. So next one's gonna be our 100th nomination.
No.
Yes, because yes.
There's
Actually,
2, I
no,
believe.
2.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have 2 more. So,
Which
refinement
means
and
I get to
development
choose the 100. Let's go.
of Total War Warhammer franchise is incredible. There were a lot of bug fixes and good community changes. My only complaint is that it is a little slow. But we've had very good refinement and development of games like Warframe that was fairly slow. Community. I love the Total War community writ large. I like the Warhammer community writ large. Those two merged and got along, which is kind of shocking. You don't generally take RTS games from tabletop fantasy games and have their communities mesh. A perfect example of where that happened and then people really didn't like it would be the Baldur's Gate 3 communities, the Baldur's Gate community kind of mixing with the Divinity Original Sin
Right.
setup. A lot of them liked the sort of real-time aspect of it and hated turn-based, and they still love the Baldur's Gate action of it, but their complaint was that it wasn't Baldur's Gate 3 and looked a lot more like Divinity Original Sin 3, even though it was clearly set in the Baldur's Gate universe and is better than all of the other games from either of those franchises, even in early access, even with only 1 act out. Community, I will give an S. I have been with Heir of Carthage now for a while. He has been an anchor of the community there. Regina D, I've played with all of these people who are very great YouTube players. Dav, Gojira, I've played with a bunch of them, and it's a really solid community. It's almost a keck, honestly. Yeah, I think this is correct. Warcry nominated this. Sard,
Any.
NE.
Yeah.
War, what else do you have to say?
Yeah, so I don't have a huge amount of experience with the entire franchise in itself, specifically Warhammer 2, in which you got me into it. I've done a bit of reading on it, not a huge amount. So, what to say? Can't really go on about the first game. How many DLCs are there on just for the second game?
Dozens.
Yeah, like Jesus Christ.
A lot of them are free LC too.
Yeah, of course, yeah. They have a absolutely massive amount of what? High War Christ. Shut the fuck up, Sword. Yeah. They have an absolutely massive amount of content in these games. Very good, very enjoyable. I haven't played much. A certain person, or a certain someone dipped out in the middle of a campaign. You know, hate when that happens, hate those people. But that's all I have to.
Total War Warhammer franchise gets an S+. A narrow S+, but an S+. Alright, does this come back around to me?
Yes.
Let's keep it rolling with the games. Let's go down the good old Steam list. Okay, Ark we have. Baldur's Gate we have.
Well, you know what
Borderlands
I have?
2 I don't feel like I'm experienced enough to sound off on.
You don't have Ark Survival of the Evolved, right?
Yeah, we have Ark Survival.
Survival. I think you meant
Survival of the
survival
fittest, right? Yeah,
Survival of the Fittest is. Do I
Yeah.
really want to review that?
It's just
that
battle
was a joke.
royale.
I
Battle
don't
royale
think I
arc.
want to
Who
review
cares?
that. We have
Fortnite.
Warframe.
We haven't
We
done
now
Fortnite.
have. You have Fortnite on Steam. What the fuck?
Epic Games.
Okay, here's a good one for you. Team Fortress 2.
Okay.
Any, which is surprising.
Yeah, I played it, but not a huge amount. Never got into it.
I'll get an image. TF2.
This is gonna mark halfway through, I believe.
I thought this would have been picked as like a guest thing, right? Or a viewer request. I thought maybe Lou would have gone with this.
Yeah, Lou's a big TF2 nerd.
Who else is a TF2 nerd?
Who?
IBC.
Trollstool.
Really?
Is he?
Yeah, Trollstool is.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I have to...
All right. So core gameplay of Team Fortress 2, you pick one of 9 classes. It is proto Overwatch, if you will. Except they are generic classes like spy, engineer, that sort of thing, as opposed to individual heroes with their own specific backstories. It allowed Overwatch to diversify, but also they allowed kit customization, which kind of levels that out, in my opinion. If there were a sort of talent system for Overwatch, which I think was a big missed Overwatch opportunity, then yeah, that would be great. But there's not. And for that reason, Team Fortress 2 is actually a bit more customizable. Let's see here. I played at least a little bit of each of these. The class that I hated playing most was Soldier. I thought Soldier was garbage. I really didn't like Spy that much either. Everyone else I played and had a pretty good time with. I was particularly good at Demo Man, Demo Knight specifically, where I would actually equip a fucking sword and yeet myself across the
Dude.
battlefield and one-shot people. Yeah.
How many hours do you have?
In Team Fortress 2, 406 hours.
Okay, so a fair amount.
Core gameplay of Team Fortress 2 is great. The loop is great. The objective styles basically set the industry standard. Good. The visuals or sustainability of Team Fortress 2, it is a fantastic time waster game. It is incredibly addictive, even for someone like me. I think in terms of addictiveness alone, sustainability is going to be a kick. The story of TF2 is actually pretty good. They don't talk about it overly much in there. They have the sort of one-off PvE mode, man versus machine, which is, I guess, kind of a half cornerstone of the story. Suffice to say, Red and Blue Team, BLU, Builders League United, and Red, RED, Reliable Expeditious Demolition, or whatever it is, are locked in a conflict. They are composed of mercenaries fighting for a sort of intrafamilial war between the sons of a sort of industrial magnate of sorts. I forget their names, Redmond and I don't know what the blue guy's name was. Suffice to say, you are a mercenary under one of their employ, and your job is to do something against the other mercenaries that are trying to stop you, or just kill the members of the other team in certain instances. The story pans out intriguingly. Their cinematics are very great, particularly Expiration Date, and is a glorious cinematic construction. The story doesn't have too much bearing on it, but what it is I see, I like. Visuals are not good. It's generic Valve, kind of cartoony, but yeah, fine. The score, sound design, I love the usage of a lot of old-timey instruments, not necessarily primal instruments, but old-timey instruments. You get a lot of smooth jazz in here too, which I quite like. The score is quite good. The refinement and development of Team Fortress 2 is going to get a degenerate. Reason being is because they haven't fucking changed it forever and played the fucking Skyrim card on it. God knows how many times the game is. I'm actually going to give this a felonious, seeing as how they just destroyed their last of their dev team. The community around Team Fortress 2 is mixed. You have Redditor troll lords like Lou, who are kind of just part of it. You have the player base that's toxic. I thought the esports community behind this was garbage. I think Overwatch had a much more robust esports
I
community.
don't think any games have a particularly good esports community anyway.
Right. I think the only existing one that I would approve of is perhaps Heroes of the Storm and Overwatch. I think Blizzard actually did a decent job of mitigating. I would have said Hearthstone too had they not bent over to take China's schlong about it. So that's another thing. I might put Hearthstone on this list too. A lot of games. The community is going to be. Let's see. All right. Sorry, you're any on this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ward.
Yeah, I never played it more than like 20 hours, I believe. So I can't say a huge amount. Good holiday music going on in the background. Huh. Yeah,
Ooh, Henry
I'm with
is
everything.
fine.
I like the core gameplay, but I think Overwatch in and of itself is just more enjoyable, probably because I'd played it more beforehand.
Yeah. Team Fortress 2 gets an A.
Okay, so I'm next. I'm
Yeah.
gonna give you two. It's the 100th rating. I am torn between an entity or a movie/TV show.
Let's do an
Okay.
Which one would you
entity.
rather see?
Well,
Alright.
let's see both, and then I'll tell you which I want to do.
Okay, it's between Grian and Squid Game.
Oh shit.
I refuse to do
fuck, and
green.
fuck.
We're getting too many Minecraft YouTubers in here.
Both
haven't
of
done a
these are
single
dumb
Minecraft
and
YouTuber.
bad.
It's too much
We did
discussion of
Manhunt.
it. Yeah.
That was one, Aramis. You guys be going
Yes.
to one Minecraft-related discussion?
Yes.
That's enough for me today. No
Okay,
more.
Squid Game then.
Okay. Squid Game.
The image. Okay, this is a good one.
So yeah, we just finished halfway, and we're at
Yeah,
an
where
hour.
we
Yeah,
just-
we're at an hour 26, so it's probably gonna be about 3 hours.
Yeah, I can afford that.
Squid Game. The story of Squid Game. Okay, I tend to rag on hyper nihilistic shows a lot, but if you're
Hard
going to
games.
do a hyper nihilistic show, this is how you do it. I can give you an example. Dragon's Dogma is a hyper nihilistic show that is fucking dog shit. Dragon's Dogma is an embarrassment. Dragon's Dogma is awesome. That is not how you do a nihilistic show. This is how you do a nihilistic show, or at least a cynical show. Story of Squid Game. There's a bunch of side plots and whatnot, but mainly it's about a guy who is a bit derelict, a bit of a drinker, a bit of a gambler. Doesn't really have his life in check. Had no Act 3, as it were, to orient himself, and therefore volunteers tacitly for the Squid Game, which is basically a bunch of rich executive people who have massive power trolling a bunch of people and offering them a bunch of money to play these sort of childish games. Really, Greenlight. If you haven't heard about Squid Game, you're living under a rock at this point. Now, the actual story itself, as they progress through the game, spoilers, obviously, but suffice to say, they go through all of this nonsense, and yay. Story is an A. The twists, like the old man being the head honcho, are a little bit predictable. But good. Like that's correct twist to have. I would have liked it if it were a bit less obvious with him being labeled whatever he was 001. I would have liked him to be a bit different than that. His explanation seemed reasonable enough, so they should have used that as sort of a dismisser. They should have had him integrated better. The characters are okay. I don't even remember fucking names of most of them. The cop, I really liked. The MC, I really liked. The old man, I really liked. The one chick with the short shoulder-length hair, I really liked.
67, I think.
Is it 67? Oh, something or other.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's right there. You can see her in the picture.
Oh yeah,
actually.
her.
You can see
yeah.
all the main
Yeah, I
characters.
like her. I think she's really cute.
Except the cop.
Okay. Characters are all right. MC's storyline is the most convincing, followed by the cop, in my opinion. They're not great. I can't remember any of their fucking names. Esterner names throw me off. but characters, B, A, somewhere in the mix. I'll give them a very low A on characters. Will I though? I give them a B because I feel like there was a missed opportunity. So writing and acting is pretty good. From what I understand, the subtitles are really bad.
Do you not watch? Do you mean the dub, right?
Yeah,
Aramis. Subtitles being bad. I watch subtitles.
yeah.
Subtitles superior.
I got ping-ponged a little bit. I ended up watching it at a friend's place at one instance. Like Hap V and I were watching this, I think. Was it Hap
Do you
V
watch
that
the
I
whole
was
series
with?
or not?
Yes, but he and I were. It was like in between when I was watching one instance of it. Like I actually didn't binge it. I didn't do the wait and binge. The writing and acting is okay. I didn't really like a ton of the scripting. Visuals, they're unique in their own sort of way. I quite enjoyed the visuals. They're a little cyberpunky in a lot of instances, almost a Blade Runner-y in certain others. You get weird sort of, I will call it dystopian future mixed with neo-noir, which is odd, but it works. Fine. Direction, fine. The games themselves are shot well. I think the concepts are kind of cool. Action gets an A. Score sound design. I didn't really think much of it. Aside, like it didn't really stand out to me. Did the score sound design stand out to you guys?
I mean, Pink Soldiers is good, as
Yeah.
well as the red light, green light theme, but other than that, not really.
Yeah, the red light green light theme gets a lot of meme play, so I quite like it. But I think that's a missed opportunity there again. The uniqueness of this. I mean, it kind of follows along the sort of lines of competitive dystopics that we've had in the past, except it's not from the point of view of a teenage girl. Yay.
Yay.
Diversity. Uniqueness of Squid Game. Yeah, sure. I'll give it points because it was the first instance of this to really come out of that area, and it was wildly successful as such.
I'd say a B maybe or A.
Give it an A. Because it's actually on the industry scale, it's very unique for that area. Like you saw shadows of this coming in like the waves with things like Parasite, but
Oh yeah,
other than that, this is a kind of in a league of its own.
was Parasite Korean too?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Refinement, it's okay. Like it's pretty. Again, I don't really have anything to say on this one. Do you guys agree, disagree with this? I don't
Okay.
really have a ton of strong opinions on Squid Game.
Yeah, so I've already discussed this with Sard, but I have a specific priority list as to what's worth my time right now, and this is just in terms of how much enjoyment and use this would bring, it's low enough not to warrant watching at all.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I
Mr.
haven't
Doctor
actually
Strange.
If I'm curious, what else do you got?
a variety of things at the moment, obviously games, books, and so on.
So, Squid Game, I enjoyed the first half of it so much as like I would consider the first half of it S tier, and then I think as Star and I discussed this because we also rated Squid
Seems
Game.
like a bit of
it
an
kind
abrupt conclusion.
It kind of fell down a little bit. There was a lot of weird not plot holes, but plot plot conveniences. Let's say like him being friends with the old man who happened to be
Yeah.
also the creator of the
Plot
game, and
armor.
him having
Yeah.
to win as well. Like the old man's friendship with him was useless if he had died.
Plot
But-
armor here.
The characters were great. I actually liked the characters a lot. That Indian guy who saved his life when he almost died in red light, green light.
Yeah.
Also,
His
question,
Asian best friend.
What's up with the prize being the same as the main character's number?
No, it's just because everyone who dies adds a number
Oh,
or a certain
okay.
amount. I will admit, like the girl, her family being from North Korea or whatever, that was a good story plot as well. There were a lot of
Yeah.
good mini plots in this. Like the daughter, I almost forgot about the fact they had a kid. That was like very irrelevant.
I do
for,
like
the
that. It's kind of just a
middle
rag
part
on.
of the
It's a jokerist, nihilistic rag on society as opposed to targeting one communism or capitalism. Like it targets both.
Yeah.
So
which is good. And it's one of those things that are like extreme lessons in the form of people are dying and you learn a lesson from it. The cop, yeah, good character. I think that was pretty interesting watching him try to solve everything. The twist with the cop's brother was meh, in my opinion. But the ending,
Sure.
the first part of the ending when 218's mother and 67's brother end up being paired together, that was Keck tier almost in my opinion.
That's
And then
pretty
there
good.
comes the actual ending. Cliffhanger, bad.
Yeah.
Nah. I wish that they hadn't done it that way. That's what I.
It
that's all
seems
I'm
so
saying.
abrupt to leave it on a cliffhanger like that.
Yeah, like I don't know. I feel like they'll make a good second season, but for now, yeah.
I'm waiting on it to see something special about it. I'll give it like a B, maybe a B plus.
They're gonna have a lot of funding now, so it might be a while before we actually see.
The most funding.
Yeah,
Um,
45.6 billion won.
yeah,
like,
this thing did
literally.
ridiculously well.
They're gonna have more money than the actual Squid Game gave out.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that was Korean money. How much money was that actually in, like in
It's
USD?
not actually that huge.
Probably like a billion or something, or a few million actually. Not billion. There's no way.
No,
Yeah, I'm gonna look that up.
It's like 40 mil. It's
4, 5.
Is my math-
6,
is my math
0,
right? It's like
0,
45
0,
million?
0,
It's
0,
worth
0,
yeah, it's
0.
like worth 38
That's
million.
38.
okay.
Yeah, 38 million. You're correct. 39.
Okay,
That's actually quite a lot.
million.
I mean,
It's That's kind of That's sus.
for someone who's literally living on the streets. That's a
Sus.
lot.
Sus.
I'll see Baka. So yeah, that was our 100th rating. I guess.
Okay.
Okay.
Sard summoned Squid Game. Ward.
Okay.
Play
What
back
to do? What to do? Let's
Don't do something I'm a neon again, please.
Let's do because I know Sard did George Floyd since this is going on at the moment. Let's do Kyle Rittenhouse.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
I'm down with Aramis because of the trial happening at the moment.
I agree. Because it's relevant right now.
Hmm. I actually lost a friend over Kyle Rittenhouse. I'll give that story for another time, maybe. A Kyle Rittenhouse slanderer. I'll get an image.
Or maybe should we do the trial or should we do him?
It's too late now. I think the him is more important right now. Because the trial's not over.
The trial will be discussed. Well, yeah, it's effectively over. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
What's I haven't been keeping up with it that much. What's the
Dude,
There's a
it's
reason why
literal
those people-
fucking
I was-
comedy. It is a
I was-
literal comedy.
There's a reason why the
Prosecution's
post that I
trash.
made on that.
I actually haven't seen that. I'm gonna look at that post right now. I just never had time.
Where did I put it? In off
Hey,
topic, I
our-
think.
Our top topic, yeah. Let me see.
Yeah,
that.
there's. I reacted the same way as those people did because I was watching it because well, I take interest in these sorts of things.
What was the post? Where was this? Oh, there.
I'll put it in
I
error
found
warning.
it. Yeah, I see it.
I reacted in much similar fashion.
Your gun, now your hands down.
Oh, the reaction's hilarious, actually.
Advanced on him. With your gun, now you're...
Oh shit!
So can you song
That's
that
it.
actually?
Direct
Okay, so
I
yes,
understand it.
so basically, Grosskreutz was the survivor who got shot in the arm in that instance, and basically testified for the prosecution that he basically was the attacker,
Yeah.
which is fucking nightmarish for the prosecution. So what that individual said there, I don't actually follow I follow the girl actually, but basically a directed verdict means there is no way that you can possibly find someone guilty, that the judge is going to call that out and basically shut the entire thing down. Directed verdict means judge steps in and says like, what the fuck even is this? Die. And basically, these guys are claiming that, oh shit, that actually just happened. The prosecution's own witness is going to direct their own verdict.
So
Like,
what do you think it's gonna end up with?
Well, it's kind
he's
of
going to get a
obvious.
directed verdict on the. He's going to get hit with the gun charge, which
Yeah,
I
that's
disagree
fair.
with the law, but that's beside the point. He'll get hit with the gun charge.
What do you
Okay.
think the law
Libs
should
are
be
gonna be
out of
so
curiosity, Aramis?
Everyone from this
I
happened
don't
like a year
think that
ago, right?
interstate carry should be a bad thing. I mean,
Yep.
on a I don't think it should be a fed tier offense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I literally lost a friend over. I had a Democrat friend who was very anti Rittenhouse.
Okay, Kyle Rittenhouse's relevance to the literal god is like, I mean, I've been following the case quite closely, but I doubt it'll have much relevance going forward. I do enjoy vigilantes, though.
Dude, it's so fucking hilarious.
Philosophical merit of Kyle Rittenhouse does not seem massive on the surface. He's not someone who you would think of as being a deep thinker. He's not a grand intellect. But the philosophical merit of his actions and therefore his person is incredibly high.
I like this
I'm
way
gonna
of
give his
thinking.
philosophical merit a kick.
I think that's
Based
probably...
on what his own ethics are that he is representing, even if he does not necessarily have a grand understanding or is able to articulate them overly well or even wants to. I think what he stands for in this case and believes in is keck-worthy. In defense of private property, that sort of thing. A lot of people would agree with that if you just ask them, but very few people actually took action. So there's that. Rational merit. Dude knows how to administer medical attention. Dude, and basically has a pretty intimate knowledge of firearms, from what I understand, or at least enough to be competent with them. I don't know a ton about his personal life aside from the fact that he did drive across state lines, but it was a fairly short drive.
It was like a 10-minute
defend the
drive,
building.
wasn't it? I'm pretty sure he lived on a border town.
Yeah. So, rational merit of Kyle Rittenhouse is up in the air, but there is definitely potential there. And what of that potential was realized I saw, and I liked. It's a high A, low S rational merit, maybe a little less. It doesn't seem that he doesn't seem like he has a huge amount of gravitas to him, but I can't help but approve. The meme potential of Kyle Rittenhouse. There's not a lot of great memes coming from this, not gonna lie, except for the young Turks making themselves look really fucking stupid over it. Like it kind of gets boring after a while when you see communists being stupid. And they weren't uniquely stupid with this. The meme potential of the trial, the results going either way will be fantastic, because there will be riots if he gets acquitted, which I am very much looking forward to. I'm very much looking forward to additional people inspired by him going and slaying rioters who attempt to destroy their own personal property. With fairness and mercy, of course. I am, after all, nothing if not compassionate.
History repeats itself, Aramis. Literally,
yes,
Jesus Christ.
Good. Let them be culled.
Kill more attempted attackers.
Correct. Personal approval of Kyle Rittenhouse. The other thing that I did not mention deliberately until this phase. He willingly took the stand.
Mm-hmm.
That is exceptionally rare as a defense goes for murder. That is ludicrously rare. And he did pretty good for himself. It went about as well as it can go. Personal approval of kid going and mowing down child molesting filth is S. It would be greater. Let's see where he goes with it. There is definitely the personal approval of a high-level keck there. Potentially in the future. And I want to see how this all pans out. So my rating is going to be a bit more lukewarm until that point.
Yep.
Of what I know, I approve.
Okay.
All right, Sard, War nominated this, so you speak your piece.
There was an incident in October, I think, right? October 2020, where this black dude was carrying a knife, I don't remember his name. I don't care.
Jacob Blake, if I remember
Jacob Blake,
correctly.
yeah. So Jacob Blake, it was what was he? He was arrested or whatever. What happened? He got shot. I don't remember. I don't care.
Jacob Blake.
Basically, that sparked a lot of riots around the Wisconsin area. And
Kenosha.
Kyle Rittenhouse, a good old-fashioned Illinois boy, let's go, decided to head up north and go to these riots. And these rioters are degenerates, and they decided to attack this guy for what reason again? Just because they're scum, right?
It was because
Few
they had
hits,
a-
pretty much.
charging.
Yeah, pretty.
A
And
child
they fucking
molesters.
lost their lives for it. Good.
Dude, the fucking
And
dude,
one dude got
rid
shot in
the
the
world.
arm.
dude, he
Yeah, rid
shot.
the
What was
world
it?
of
He
that scum.
shot a criminal, a child molester, and a pedophile. No, what were the
Who'd
three?
he
did?
kill?
I forget the exact criminal records of all three involved, but
like
I know that all
it
of them
was
had criminal
fun- It was
records.
stupid funny. One of them was a pedophile. One of them was
Yep.
a child molester, and one of them was a criminal or something like that.
It's great. It's the
Wait,
trifecta of
Which
justice.
one of them did he
Mm.
kill? Which one of them did he
he
kill?
no, he killed what, two of the three of them, or no? One?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did he
And
not?
the guy who
Am
was
I wrong?
living, I'm guessing, testified in prosecution. So overall, I think that he's done good in the world. He's done nothing bad. He's only improved our world.
Who
So
was killed
there
by
we go.
Rittenhouse in Kenosha, Wisconsin? Okay, so yeah, Rosenbaum
Mm-hmm.
and Huber were shot to death. Let me look up their individual
Yeah.
things, just because the question was asked. I won't probably change ratings off of this, but even though I probably could.
I mean, it's purely coincidence, truly.
Here's the
Right,
thing.
exactly. It wouldn't affect his rating, but it would affect my approval of the rating of what actually happened per se.
So the left wing hate against Kyle Rittenhouse, why is it? Is it because of his own political opinions,
No, it's
or
'cause
because
he's
of who he
white.
killed?
It's because
Oh.
he's white.
White shooter. I
Yeah.
think the most of the hate was because he wasn't black, and the fact that the police didn't fire on him because he was white. That's the or supposedly because he wasn't white. That's the main reason why he got a lot of hate.
Okay, so
And they wanted him to the jail, whatever. So yeah, overall,
Where-
I think that's all I can say about
this
him.
guy. Okay, so Rosenbaum was a sex offender charged by a grand jury with 11 counts of child molestation and inappropriate sexual activity around children, including anal rape. The victims were 5 boys ranging in age from 9 to 11 years
Oh
old.
my god.
Good. Ridding the
Yep,
world of scum.
so good. I'm glad that he was purged from the annals of existence. So that was Rosenbaum. And the other one was Huber, Anthony Huber.
I am worried about bias
Anthony-
in this case.
Anthony Huber. Let's see. Anthony Huber.
Also, we haven't changed the image yet, sorry.
In 2012,
Right
Huber
on
held a
top.
6-inch long butter knife to his brother's neck and violently attacked him.
Oh my
He told his
God.
brother he was going to
Boy,
gut
you're
him like a
glitched.
pig, choked his brother, and dug his nails into his neck. His
Reload.
brother could not breathe for 10 seconds. He then stabbed him in the ear. He threatened to burn the house down and kill his mother, grandmother, and siblings. Huber then left the premises on his skateboard. It's an odd detail to add in a court report. Okay.
I suppose
Or
it's
you're glitched,
irrelevant.
by the way.
No,
I
I
see your
fixed it.
stream.
I fixed it.
Okay, so he has arrest history. 4/30/2012, domestic battery and domestic disorder or conduct. 8/7/2012, unauthorized alcohol. 8/20/2012, disorderly conduct and vandalism. 12/6/2012, secondary reckless endangerment felony charge. Strangulation and suffocation felony. False imprisonment felony. Domestic battery with use of a weapon.
Oh my god.
4/5/2015, drug possession. 12/26/2017, domestic battery, repeat felony, domestic disorderly conduct, repeat felony, and resisting an officer,
Dude.
repeat. So yeah, this guy is not the best individual.
Not at-
And the other who survived, the guy who Grosskreutz. Let's see, Grosskreutz.
Probably a sex offender or something. The guy who went on a skateboard.
Okay, Grosskreutz.
Grosskreutz is the dude who testified.
Yes, he's the one who got shot in the arm and survived. Gage is his first name. I forget how it's spelled though. Gage.
Maybe with a
Gage,
U?
Goscoids,
Oh!
criminal
a minute.
record.
I have something. I
I'm
think
gonna get off of Yahoo.
Dude. Why do you
Uh,
use Yahoo as your search engine, by the way?
I do not.
I switched back to
Oh,
Google.
was it
Or never mind,
Sard?
Dan.
I'm thinking of? It might be.
Okay. So I believe one of the people who survived the shot threatened him after that, saying if I had gotten near him, I would have beat his ass. And find him,
Defendant, active shooter, approached Rittenhouse with a gun, yada yada yada.
Yeah, it was the one of the
Show
people
me
fatally shot.
fucking.
Show me the criminal record.
Yeah,
I'm
no
trying to
shit.
find it.
Where is it? I think he's a gun offense. Prior misdemeanor conviction, intoxicated use of a firearm.
War. I just found
Drunk driving, and disturbing peace. Forfeiture of obedience as well. Yeah. So a gun offense, drunk driving, it's scumbag is what it is. All of this would be enough to reduce those people to cringe for me.
Yeah.
So good job. You have made the world 3 scumbags lighter.
Yeah, it's still
Great
Sard's,
job.
it's still Sard's turn. Sorry, did you have anything to say?
No,
we
but I
finish?
sent something funny I found.
Oh?
Oh yeah, George Floyd's nephew getting involved on it. Yeah, they're baying for blood like they normally do.
I off the top of my head, I remember there was a post by the guy who got shot, who survived, of his arm in the
Right.
hospital.
It's yeah, Cortez.
Saying something about threatening Kyle Rittenhouse, like if I had gotten close to him, I would have.
Oh yeah, that. Anyway.
I can't find it right now.
Yeah, the judge in that trial, dude, literally just telling life stories. You saw that, Aramis? You saw a fair chunk of the trial? Fucking such a dysfunctional trial, seriously.
That's so retarded. That judge often gets criticism, by the way, for being too kind to the prosecution, of all things. And he's like, "You're on very nice, so don't get smart with me." It's so
Dude, this is a generic boomer. It's great.
Yeah, exactly. All right, my personal overall rating of Kyle Rittenhouse is going to be S-. Heroism in one instance does not make you a keck. I want to see more.
Counter-suing the prosecution.
Yes, you can make the case. But, yeah, I would probably just go for a directed verdict with either that or mistrial with
so we've
prejudice,
done how
so that it
many?
can't be appealed.
3. We've done 11.
We have 2 left. I think War, you have 3. You have 3 left, counting this one. No, the rest of us have 2. No, never mind. You don't. We just cycled through Aramis, and no, hold on a minute. So
We've
Aramis
done.
is
Actually, 1, 2, 3.
The halfway
We've done
point.
10.
1, 2,
No, we've done
3.
11 with this.
Okay,
Yeah.
7 more to go. So
7 more.
That was my nomination.
Okay.
that was War's nomination. Anyway.
So that
It's
comes
our-
back around to me.
Yeah.
What should I go for here?
Please, not something I'm an E for.
I'll
Movies,
try.
games.
But,
Actually, I wouldn't mind. Actually, we just did Kyle Rittenhouse. I was gonna say Entity, but we just did Kyle Rittenhouse. Maybe Entity we know.
Let's do
Like an hour since we
Yeah,
did Camila. I
Let's
think.
not do any
Interesting.
more, or let's not do a few huge ones at the moment. Let's do a few quick ones, just because we're at 2 hours and we've only done like.
Actually,
half.
no. Let's just call this next one the end.
Okay,
Really?
Yes.
I'm with it. Only 4.
I'm
for
tired.
each.
Mega Eisen index. Good. Let's
Wait,
see.
what is this then? We've done.
This would
We've
be-
each done
That's
3.
that's
yeah.
appropriate.
That would be
no.
that would be the
This
length
is
of a
just a literal
standard.
odds then.
No, we've
Well,
each
no,
done. We've
no,
each
it
done
would be
4.
the length of a standard Mega Eisen index.
Yeah, we've each
Yeah,
done
but
The
4. which
standard
is
Mega
simple.
Eisen index is 12, 6 from each of
Yeah,
you.
but it's 12. But now it's like 3
Yes,
from
it's-
each of us.
No,
So,
it's
no.
nice
Oh,
fucking math, dumbass.
No, it's 4 then.
Good
right?
God,
Actually, I don't know.
Sard, you are really intelligent. No.
Yeah, it's 4 then. Right?
What should I do as
Art,
last?
are you sure though? I mean, we're already over
Hard,
halfway. Might as
no.
well just
Yeah,
go for it.
no, we'll just do
We've
another
done
Eisen next
11 of
weekend or something. I don't fucking know.
18. Sword.
What?
We've done
We'll just do
11
another
of
fucking Eisen index
18.
later or something. I don't know.
And it's been 2 hours.
What can I do to irritate you people? What do you people not like me for?
Aramis and I are a hive mind, so that's pretty hard.
Fair. I'm just gonna randomly start scrolling through like off topic until I see something I can latch onto. There's Ninjago, there's Ice, there's
Ninjago.
dogs.
There's Aloysius O'Hare.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that was
Let's see.
There's pornography.
no, please.
ASAP Science, what happens when you quit porn?
I said that right. Oh my god.
Mark,
We
yeah.
should totally review porn.
On my
totally.
list, I have Sarfnick's YouTube channel, Wow, Fauci, a few
That was
philosophies.
a good one.
Yeah, I had a few
Let's start-
philosophies, Marxism, Kantism. I don't know if we did
Marxism.
Kantism.
Kantian theory might be
Yeah.
okay, but
On
Sard would
mine,
be any on
I
both
have-
of those.
I could
I'll do-
explain it to him fairly.
I have Afghanistan, Twitter, Aloysius O'Hare, Zemo, Thor Ragnarok, Chank, Fade.
Oh, Chunk Yogurt might be okay. We already have his nephew on here.
Yeah. Did you want to make some revisions to his nephew?
No. He's still cringe. Although he
Yeah.
did admit on stream that he's an incel, which is great.
Wait, who did?
Shank's nephew.
Thanks, nephew.
Song.
No, wait, okay.
He nearly won the offline TV Squid Game, but then
Which
he
is
made
a
like
fucking joke.
No, it was a joke because it was like luck based. So
Okay. Let's go ahead. Go ahead and get his picture.
Shank. Oh,
Yeah.
Wait, who are we?
Shank
oh,
from
we're
Young
doing,
Turks.
We're doing, Chunk
Yeah.
Yogurt? Chunk Yogurt, nice.
let me find the worst. I found the worst picture of him. I'm going with this.
Dude has like
Oh, no.
10 chins.
Oh, I got it. Can I edit this actually and make it look even funnier?
Just put it in.
Yeah, I want to see.
But you don't hear that on a daily basis, Sard.
Put it in. Okay.
Bring it. Bring the chunk.
Yeah, I had to edit the image. Sometimes if they're in a different format, I have to put them.
Dude,
There we go.
that dude could...
That is the most flattering image of Shank Yuger I've ever seen.
Yeah, that dude could have like
Get one of the
10
shitty
chins.
meme
Okay,
images.
sure. I will. Oh my god, there's so many flattering images. Aaron.
Just search chins. Let's see if I can get a double chin of him or
Chink.
something.
Yeah, War, can you do it honestly? You're probably better at this.
Wow, he's actually very careful not to show a double chin on TV.
Like, why does he purposely stand so it's not visible?
There we go.
Wait, just let's see which one's better. Delete that
Let
one.
them
Actually, that
go
one's
with that.
good. Yeah.
Donald Trump is bullshit. It's just, of course, it's the Donald Trump. It's just bullshit. Chunk Yogurt. Relevance to the literal god is low. I do regularly watch the Young Turks to know what retarded arguments are going to be coming at us, so I can just eviscerate them even more swiftly. This guy is the center for all things communism in the U.S. Well, actually, Richard Wolff is on the intellectual side. This guy is on the punditry side. Philosophical merit is a communist, so cringe. Where's the last cringe? Camila. Who is also a communist.
Communism is when people
sure Camila
do,
would
or
love this guy.
communism is when the government
already.
does stuff.
I've been studying Marxism.
Yeah, rational merit is pretty garbage. This guy came into it. He was ex-student somewhere, got a massive investment from Buddy Roemer, and immediately flipped on a dime from hard republicanism to communism. I wonder how that worked. And yet he and his ragtag crew of cronies, one of whom is actually a decent human, Jimmy Dore, an idiot, but a decent human, are really fucking dumb and communism and bad. And yeah. Rational merit is a C. I will give him a slight boost because he is fiscally successful. However, he preaches that it's only because communism is great and not because he's totally used capitalistic apparatus to make himself filthy rich, like all communists do. So meme potential of this guy, he synergizes very mimetically with individuals like Anna Kasparian, who are equally fiery, substantially more attractive, although not a great standard, and are doubly as stupid in certain instances. Meme potential of Chunk Yogurt is a kek, and we have seen many memes exploited of this, like how Steven Crowder dressed up as him in a fat suit and everything, and crashed one of his seminars by talking like him mimetically in front of. Steven Crowder has an ongoing meme war with this guy, and it's fucking hilarious. I'm gonna get a clip, and Warcraft you shall display it. It's so good.
Man. What was it? His 2016 election reaction too?
Yeah, that's that too.
I remember seeing that. Like when, what was it? Like when polls were going in Donald Trump's favor, his whole team was like, they had their heads on the desk and they were like banging it as they were watching it all unfold. He looks more like Shank than Shank does.
There you go. There's that glorious, glorious instant.
Go get.
He just walks in a fucking fat suit and dyed up and stuff, and it's great. It's bullshit.
Is that actually Shank next to him?
Okay, here goes.
And by the way, it was built by our audience. We asked them when we switched over from TV to online, can you guys help us build this? And our audience.
Are we gonna go through this entire clip or anything you want to stuff?
To build it.
Kick him out.
I'm at 22 seconds. Just...
I'm gonna pull that up and watch that tonight.
Okay, this is Steven
This
Crowder.
is their pilot.
You think your man just not happen? It's bullshit. Okay, so this. Okay. This is not a friend of mine. Okay. This is what he does. He's doing an impression, and you know that's bullshit. Okay. He basically makes money.
Okay. So if Steven Crowder was not a keck rating already, which we should probably have him on here at some point.
He's definitely not a keck rating, but he's fucking hilarious and meme potential.
Oh, that is the biggest keck.
Yeah, meme potential definitely a keck.
We'll talk about him at a different time. Send the link for me.
Correct. That is his rating.
You should give him a Q.
Keck, personal approval. He's a communist, so no. Not only is he not a communist, he's a liar of a communist. Like.
Oh.
I'll fix it. Actually, you can fix it. Never mind.
Overall rating of Chunk Yogurt. I will say, there are certain communists that actually pose threats. This man is not one of them. This man is not one of them.
If you want an intelligent communist, go for Richard. Don't go for fucking Chunk Yogurt.
Yeah, if you're gonna go for anyone, go for like Richard Wolff. But even then, so the intelligence of communists are generally based on their abilities for deception. Chunk Yogurt is not a good deceiver. And therefore he is an impotent communist and registers as more of a cute kind of evil and an adorable kind of okay, so it's like you would see a bee in the garden, or perhaps a wasp, something a bit more malicious, and you incidentally swat the wasp. And normally, you understand that wasps have their place in nature. They're tiny, they're insectoid, they're incredibly weak, and you could crush them with the palm of your hand in an instant if you really wanted to. The wasp then inadvertently gets hit by you and goes into a furious rage and tries to sting you with all of its might and manages to like get snagged on your clothing, buzz about, and kill itself in its frustration. That is how I view Chunk Yogurt.
Nice.
He'd have some sting if we weren't all wearing something that thickens our skin, which is, intellect and brain
It's merch,
cells.
actually. It's Eisen Index merch.
Yeah, that's
News
also
today.
true. Yeah, thank you, Sarfnik. What is this new entrepreneurial spirit? I
I'm
enjoy
gonna
this
hit up
very
Henry
much.
Moon Rabbit. We're gonna get a site going.
Exactly right. I actually already have one. I need to reinvigorate it. My overall rating for Cenk will be substantially higher than most communists because there is nothing to be derived from this except for humorous mockery, the like of which Steven Crowder constantly exploits.
He's the anti-Steven Crowder.
Yeah, it's just the great memes. Okay, Cenk Uyghur still gets an F minus because he actually does manage to delude a fair few people, the stupid people, so not the very threatening ones. His nephew, Shank's nephew, also he's substantially more convincing with the younger populace, and
He's more
therefore
dangerous,
will convert more capable individuals to evil, and will therefore make my task slowed in cleaving them from the face of the earth. So there's that. If I could annihilate them with a fell swoop, I would, but this guy would not be terrifyingly high on my priorities list. He's all bark, no bite.
Act 4.
He got eviscerated by Ben Shapiro in his debate on Politicon, and then he sent out his little droll Anna, who also got eviscerated by Ben the next time those two sat together. So all you really need to know about this guy is this bullshit.
I don't even
Okay.
know if he just believes in communism anymore, or if he just.
Of course he doesn't. He got $4 million from Buddy Rummer to say he does.
Yeah.
Like, like what? Okay, F minus for Chunk Yogurt. A fair, the Brown Knight, as he is called.
Brown Knight.
Yes. Great job,
Knight and
Chunk.
Black Knight is beautiful. but
The
Brown
great,
Knight-
great job, Chunk Yogurt. You've really done a service to the world.
Yes, amazing, man.
Okay, that'll conclude this Eisen Index for the moment. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for a follow-up Eisen Index in the coming weeks. It will not be a 2-month gap like last time, although I feel that given that we've just exceeded our 100th indexed subject, we're on a roll. We're on a very good track here. And by the way,
We still have a lot.
I have only 2 classes this semester at this point. I
Dude.
dropped most of my other ones because I'm pivoting major.
Yeah.
So this is basically like half summer for me. I'm obviously going to be back home and able to work and stuff for this next bit, but I've had
Any
nothing.
final
There's a
words,
special thing
any
coming
closing
around, I
words
believe.
before we continue our discussion? Yes, goodbye. New Eisen Index probably
For-
within the next 2 weeks.
Yep.
Thanksgiving break's coming up for me, so I'm down with it. Next weekend.
Under-
My Thanksgiving break starts in 6 days, so.
Okay.
Very nice.
Oh.
Thank you everyone for watching and stay tuned.
Yeah.
And make sure to